Hi, my name is Andrea O'Donnell. I'm a makeup artist with Purely Pro Cosmetics, and Purely Pro Cosmetics is a line of makeup that is used by professional makeup artists and sold in salons and spas throughout the United States. For more information on Purely Pro Cosmetics, please visit www.purelyprocosmetics.com. Now today I'm going to demonstrate a bridal application on Allison using the Purely Pro Cosmetics line. And the very most important thing to start off with is to make sure her face is clean and properly primed. And to do that, we're going to use a little bit of a tinted moisturizer, the Purely Pro Light. I'm going to mix a tiny bit of medium into it so that she doesn't look too pale. So I have a little bit of light and a little bit of medium of the Purely Pro Tinted Moisturizer. I'm going to use the back of my hand as my palette, blend the two colors together. This is a sheer moisturizer. It's got an SPF of 20. Can remember that. I'm just going to kind of dab it lightly around her face. And this is a good moisturizer even if someone is a little bit on the oily side. It is a non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic moisturizer, and it will not clog the pores. It does not make the face appear oily. And again, it is your SPF. We're just going to add it a little bit in here where the sun hits us the most and dries us the most. And I'm using a little cosmetic sponge to just lightly blend it in so we don't have any globs of moisturizer anywhere. Okay, second step, the retexturizing face primer. And this is a product that is going to prime the skin and fill in the pores and fine lines that makeup tends to collect in. To apply this product, I'm going to use our brown faux small pointed face brush. I'm sorry. This small pointed face brush, and this is a vegan brush from the Vegan Brush line of Purely Pro has to offer. And with this one, we're just going to brush it on lightly. We need a very, very small amount of this primer. It is highly concentrated, and we're going to keep it again mainly in the areas that we have a little more larger pores, finer lines, things like that. And if someone has oily skin, you may want to opt for one or the other of these two products. Sometimes the two together tends to be a little slippery, but in most cases, normal dry skin, both together work as the perfect primer for the face. Notice I'm going very lightly and just outward motion from the center of the face to the outward edges and blending away. Okay, next we're going to use the Liquid Powder Mineral Foundation. This is a great product because it starts out as a liquid and it finishes as a powder. So you can use it alone or you can set it with the powder as well. I'm going to actually mix two colors again today. We're going to use a little vanilla cream and a little tender beige, just to get her correct shade. And you know, there's a lot of shades available, so chances are you will find something that is just right for you. But if not, buy two and mix, because throughout the year your skin changes color anyhow. In the summer you're a little darker, in the winter you're a little lighter, so having two shades in your drawer will help you to combine those colors and always have the perfect color with you. And just a little dab of each. You can customize it in your own bathroom. You can also mix the primer and the moisturizer into any foundation to create a more sheer look, a natural look. Because we're dealing with a bride today, we want her to have a natural look, but we do want her to have coverage as well. So I'm not going to mix those together. And for daily wear makeup, you can always just put a dab of moisturizer or a dab of the primer into your foundation, and it'll make it a little sheer, almost as if you have no makeup on at all, just enough to even out the tone. And again, I'm starting from kind of the inward part of the face and blending outward. The final strokes when you're using a brush is to brush downward. That way any little fuzzy hairs we all have on our faces are laying down. We all have them. And I do brush a little bit lightly over the eyelids. Not too much, you don't want to have oily eyelids of any kind, so our eyelids tend to have a little more oil and a moisture in them, so we just keep it light there. And the reason I use this little brush to apply, a lot of people use fingers or sponges, but using a brush you use less product and it tends to spread around the product smoother around the face. All the little brush strokes, or disappear, and what's left on the face is exactly what you need. And then you finish it up with just a light pat of a latex sponge, or non-latex. They do make non-latex sponges now for any makeup artists who are afraid of their clients having a latex allergy. And you just kind of give it a light blending with the sponge, and that's a finishing blend. Making sure to take care of the crease of the nose, around the lips, and I do go right over the lips too. And there you have the foundation application. Then I'm going to use the large pointed face brush, and I'm going to apply just a teeny tiny bit of the finishing minerals. And this is just a translucent powder, no color at all. Again, you don't have to use this with the liquid powder mineral foundation. It dries very smooth and dry. You don't necessarily have to use a powder, but I like to set things with the powder. Just feels better to me. I feel like it's going to hold better, and that other products that I apply on top of it will go on smoother and blend easier. I'm working with the 5 Well shadow. These are really great to work with because you have everything you need to create from a day look to a night look right in one palette. You also save a lot of money by buying it this way rather than buying 5 individual shadows. And the colors automatically go together, they're part of the same palette. I like to start almost every eye application with a nice light base. So close your eyes please. And I'm using the small pointed face brush, again the same one I used to apply foundation. However, this is actually a different brush because I needed a dry brush to do this. So we're going to just put it fits right over the eyelid. And it puts a nice base down for blending other colors on top of. And it also just brightens up the eye. If you were going out, say, to the grocery store or to the gym and you just wanted to brighten your face up a little bit, just a little bit of this kind of ivory bone colored shadow is enough to wake you up so you don't look like you just rolled out of bed. You don't look tired or your eyes don't look older than they should. So that's a nice base. I'm going to take the pointed sculptor and I'm going to take somewhere in these 2 shades here, I'm going to add these together in my hand. I'm going to use again my hand as a palette and blend them together a little bit. Don't be afraid to mix eyeshadow colors, mix lipstick colors. I mean, you can come up with some beautiful shades. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm adding this into the crease of her eye, the natural crease, which is just where the brow bone curves under. And then I'm going into the corner, the outside third of her bottom eyelid. We're just going to add that in there. This is a nice medium tone to start, adding contour in. And again, I'm mixing the 2 shades together. These are the 2 mid shades in the palette. Another reason I like to powder the face with those finishing minerals is because as you're doing eyeshadow, if any shadow falls down onto the cheekbone, it's not going to stick to the cheekbone. You're going to be able to brush it away when you're all done. That's important. You don't want to end up with dark circles under the eyes caused by falling eyeshadow. So there we have the medium shade, and we're going to go ahead and add now a little bit of this lighter copper color. I like these shades on her because she's got a nice warm golden skin tone. So these just kind of naturally go with her skin tone. And I'm putting a little bit of this lighter shade right over her eyelid and blending it into that mid-tone color. Browns are okay to use as long as they're a warm brown. You start getting into the cool shades and that tends to add years to people. We don't want to do that. It's too, they look gray in photographs, so try not to do cool brown shades on brides, especially with all the photography that's going on